Right away.
We got a whole new link. We got a whole new YouTube.
We are here. We should be live. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We should be live now.
Are we there?
We're live.
Yes.
Yeah, we're live. Yeah.
I will get.
Got it.
I will get the new one up.
There's people
Post
in.
it.
Hi,
If
hi,
someone
hi.
could- Actually, no. I'll just do it. That so of all the episodes, we've got to 70 episodes. We've never had that happen.
Yeah.
How
That's
crazy is
crazy.
that?
People are coming back slowly.
Hello, people. Slowly.
It's just annoying now because it's not going to be neat in one video.
Damn it. 70.5.
We're gonna have to upload part 1 and part 2 to Spotify and shit.
I
No,
like
I'll just combine them.
things
Yeah.
can be awkward after 69.
That's
That was a great comment, Scott. Love
a good one.
That's beautiful.
What was
Poetry.
the last thing we even? What was the last thing you all heard us talk
Love
about?
that.
That's what I need to know.
I've
Batman.
You were slagging off Batman, weren't you?
But what was the last thing we actually said to
Sorry.
everyone? I'm
Um,
not asking you because we don't know. I'm asking the chat. What's
Yeah,
the
we don't know
last
where they
thing
go
we-
up to before. We were just waffling
Yeah.
on with ourselves.
Waffle,
go.
waffle,
It's a good job,
waffle.
like
Apparently
someone
it's been
messaged to tell us.
dead.
Yeah, we could
Yeah.
have just been. It'd be like that episode we had where we did the whole intro.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. You've never done that.
Yeah, I think
Jurassic Park,
What's an intro?
apparently, pretty much slagging off Batman. Yeah, that's
Like, should we just
Yeah.
move on? Should we just move on? Like, let's
Yeah, let's just go to the next topic. Let's not.
Dominion is shit. There you go. That was
No, that
Oh,
was-
yeah.
I'm
We
just
said
gonna
it
put out
was
the.
good. You must have heard it wrong through the laggy stream or something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just a
so
few, like,
next up,
cutting out words.
we have top Thrill Dragster.
Okay.
Spike, spike, spike,
TTD.
Spike.
So, if
I
I
don't-
can get the if I can get it up, see.
Hey. You can get your spike up.
We got this right.
Genuinely.
Joe, I am sorry.
I genuinely had no fucking clue what I was looking at for like a good day.
I know.
Because I
Everyone kept
didn't,
going,
I didn't make the connection where this
No,
was.
I was the same. I was like, "What? What is it?
I was like,
don't get it."
It's a triangle. What? Yeah, and
Dirty pond.
did not get the connection
You
whatsoever.
know,
So-
so, two and two together.
Yeah, so that big triangle in the middle is what
The
is
big
rumored to be the big ass footer, basically. And
Yeah.
Emma, could you like let 1 sec? Let me just mute Emma a sec.
No.
Sorry.
Rude.
Hello, testing 1 2. Yeah. We're like we can hear ourselves on your microphone, so you need to turn the microphone down. Oh, sorry, turn your audio down or bring your microphone away from your computer.
Awkward.
It's very loud.
All the technicals are happening.
I mean,
Please bear
this
with
is
us.
why I can just get like. Do you want me to send you like some £5 headphones?
Mate, I have headphones. It just ruins my hair.
What? No. What? How does it ruin your
In
hair?
here. In here.
Like, I haven't got little ones.
Yeah, just get some like the little
They
school
got
candy
big
ones.
Skull
Um,
candy from HMV. Walking.
yeah.
You got any skull candies, mate?
Like £5. Dude,
Remember when they were?
Most people
Off
do.
topic.
Yeah, they were like brand, weren't
They were like 40
Is
quid,
that better?
weren't they, when they first came out?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, it seems
I
better.
think
Is it
so.
better?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Soz.
Um, so
There we
sorry,
go.
it really distracts me. So obviously, this come out, and
Sorry.
what a lot of people are saying is this almost confirms that it's probably Intamin doing this, because if you look at Pantheon's
Yep.
spike and a few other their coaster spikes, they follow this pattern of like a triangle. So, thank God.
I am still waiting for the day where
It'd
a
be a colossus
Zambala
problem if you
crate
ask me.
turns up on the site and everyone's just like, "Fuck! It isn't Intamin."
Tazika.
Golden horse. What are they called now? What
Amazing.
golden horse called now? Who's talking about? that a while ago?
Jinma.
Jinma rides.
Jinma.
Or Jinma.
Oh,
Or
All I
Yinma,
remember is the
however it's
potato
pronounced.
thing. I don't know.
But
Someone clip that. All I remember is the potato thing.
Oh yeah, potato loop, or whatever it's called.
The
Oh,
potato loop.
Oh no.
So
no.
the reason I think a lot of people who are cleverer than me, are going crazy about this is because they're comparing like the footprint of this footer to like all the other spikes, and this one is like significantly like bigger. Like
You watched the theme park predictions video, didn't you?
yeah, I've seen it. I
You
don't know
know
if
what?
I don't know if everyone on Reddit is basing their opinions on the same video, but it almost seems like I think even before he put his latest video out, it was people were predicting that like this thing could be like huge, like,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely massive,
Like taller than the top hat, huge.
yeah, like so. And I guess like if Cedar Point, like they're a bit like Cedar Point are a bit like
It's like-
they like Merlin in a way where they like to go for like a
Yeah.
good marketing line,
wanna be in that
something
book.
that will sell, just something a hook, not even a world record, but just a hook that will
Yeah.
sell that ride. And this would do that if they could like beat King Dakar, for example.
Yeah.
So
They held the height record on 3 separate occasions and broke their own height record
Yeah.
multiple times.
yeah.
It did.
I feel like that's just something that's kind of like integral to that park in a way. Like it's just something like, what shall we try and beat?
Yeah.
And now is as good as time as any, because we just know. I guess they just know more about what is possible.
Yeah.
But
You know
yeah,
what? It reminds me.
I'm here for it.
It reminds me of the plans shot out to the bigger one plans. Do you remember these when they shot out into the promenade and they had these really massive like footers on the bottom that they put in?
yeah.
It reminds me of that. So yeah, it's gonna be fucking massive. It's gonna be back in the Guinness World Book of Records, I reckon.
Ouch.
Yeah, I think the discussion is with the footprint. People are estimating about 500 feet. If it's a straight spike,
Wow.
if it's
Yeah,
a
that's quite
twist, it will be
Yeah.
shorter
Uh,
because the support
supports.
structure will need to
Yeah.
take up more
Yeah.
footer area. So it's either a
500?
twist or they're trying to go for the height record on a spike.
So those who are just joining us, we're talking about top Thrill Dragster, and we're talking about this triangle thing here, which seems to be the footer for a spike, basically.
it's massive.
But it's, I don't know, it's good
That
news,
big
really.
boy.
It's
a
good
huge
news
Dorito.
because I didn't know where they was going with this, and like I think it was pretty much obvious they was going to go for like some kind of swing launch or something. Because how else are you going to do that with LSMs? I just don't think it's possible yet, is it? Unless you like
Have some speed before you go into it.
double the length of the.
I think LSMs could like get up to speed fast enough. It's the issue that comes with LSMs is the amount of power required in a short space of time. A lot of parks they're charged on their electricity usage by peak draw from the grid.
Right.
So with LSMs, they actually have to make massive capacitors to the period between launches, store power at a lower draw rate rather than trying to take it all from the grid in one big kit.
Yeah,
because otherwise they end up paying a shit ton.
I would love
it just makes
something that just before just on that topic there. Before we move on, I would just love to know. I'd love to know what parks spend on like energy from like their rides.
just
Well, that's what I was going to
it's-
say. I wonder what Port Aventura / Ferrari Land like their expenditure is for Red Force.
yeah.
Because is that the only
And the energy
LSM
company
launch
asked for a
that
quote.
tops 100 miles per hour? Is that the only one?
Is this the Christmas quiz? I don't know.
No idea. I just know
yeah,
that
I think
a lot of
I think
Yeah.
it is.
parks are charged
think
based on
it is.
peak draw.
And yeah, their expenditure per launch must be insane because
Same with
it's not
Taron.
because it's not a swing or anything.
But
Yeah,
I was
88,
told
isn't it?
I was told by like a pretty good like
Taron's
sport-
72.
I
Is
was
it?
heard.
Yeah.
I was told by like a few times by people Like, I'm not talking about people who are like, oh, I heard this from this other person. I'm not on about people who actually know. Is that like the cost of even like a chain lift is like astronomical, because it's just like it takes so much power. So like you got to think like when people
with
talk
a chain
about
lift, you have a lot of wearing parts as well.
Yeah, a lot
well,
of
that's
great
adding to it
parts.
as well.
Grease.
But just energy wise, like when you think they're running, you know, when you think, for example, like Alton Towers at the minute is like running it through last 2 weeks, they're like running the park through the week, man. Like it's everything's walk on. Like how I'd just love to know like how much are they spending to run the rides versus how much income they're getting in that space. And I don't know, that's just my brain thinking. I'd love to know how much it actually does cost to run when you're running parks that are very like low footprint for the week.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that must just be the reason why like a lot, it's not just even like Merlin parks now, there's a lot of parks around the world that are doing like short days now, and I wonder if that's the reason, because of the energy crisis and everything. It's like, how much must that cost now? Like, bloody hell, it costs like a fortune to heat my house at the minute. Like, and energy wise.
So it's just like how the costs of basically everything spiked like during the pandemic years, and then like in the aftermath, and now just inflation's just, you know, out of control and stuff. And like that is I had thought about like, you know, the costs of running these, you know, highly powerful launch coasters, and then just, you know, just roller coasters in general, but then how it factors into, like, I hadn't thought of like how it factors into the decisions that parks make on how long they run their parks for. Like that's an interesting, you know, aspect of the equation as well. But I mean, Cedar Point is Cedar Point, and it's Cedar Fair's flagship. They throw more money at Cedar Point than seemingly a lot of their smaller parks combined. So like,
Interbreak said hard to break down and get an exact number, but I'm sure the parks have those numbers. I'm sure they do, mate.
Yeah, of course they do.
Roller Baz and Coaster Dad put Assumer launches an icon of £7.50 each, giving £15 for it. Fucking love that comment. That was great.
Mikey said, "What's an FEC?"
Family Entertainment Center.
Oh, okay. How do you know that? Like,
I had no idea. I was looking up what
too many
FEC
questions
was.
tonight.
I speak to Americans. Like, they have them all over the place.
That's so random that you're just like, Family Entertainment Center. And we were all like,
well,
what?
so they're just like, well, we're going to go take the kids down the feck today.
Yeah, Father Ted.
Oh,
the feck. Drinking an ass one.
They're just an Irish thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just for the feck.
So yeah, there we go. Eddie trains. Eddie knows his shit, man. He's got like what is it, like a what is it?
Lego set.
Lego set. I can't remember. He's like I don't know, engineering, not degree. What's higher than a degree? An honor? What
a job?
No, what's come on, guys? There's enough of us here to know what they called. Why
too many fucking questions. Is good at engineering.
Masters.
I did do higher education.
Whatever.
I've got a clue, mate.
But he's what I'm saying is he's intelligent.
He's clever. He's a
He's
clever
a very
man.
smart man.
He's really smart.
Clever Eddie.
Trains are heavy and they cost a lot to move. Can imagine Hyperion.
even Eddie is questioning master's degree now.
He's smart.
Master's degree. He's smart.
Do I have that?
PhD. Why don't we ask him, Eddie man? What is it? What you got it? What is
What
it?
you got?
What you got, mate? What you got? Kira's saying got there in the end. Did I?
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
Can you just put Kira's profile picture back?
Oh, here you go.
Well,
He has a master's in mathematics. There you go.
Profile pictures amazing.
That is a big one for her to them all.
How the hell did we get onto this topic anyway?
Incredible.
I don't know.
About
Launches.
But
Top Thrill.
anyway,
Big
Top
photo.
Thrill is getting whatever. He's getting a spike maybe.
Spike. Might be
One thing I'll say about whether or
Might be a
not it
Zambella
could be a twisted spike or a straight spike is that with Busch Gardens Williamsburg's like now it was rumored is now dead. Second like spike launch coaster, Drakenspeyer is what people were calling it. The twisted spike, the footers for that structure for the twisted spike were very different to what you see in that photo. That's definitely, the triangular retaining walls, like that is much more akin to how Pantheon's spike looks than how the structure for Drakenspyre's twisted spike was supposed to look. It was supposed to look very different to that. That's the only thing that points me in the direction of it's much more likely to be a straight spike, whether or not it's completely vertical or beyond vertical or whatever they decide to do with it. That's the only thing that tells me I don't think it's going to be a twisted spike, but we'll see.
It'd be fun if it was, though.
As I said,
Yeah.
there's the opinion because of how large of a footprint it is. It's either a really tall straight spike or a short and twisted one.
Yeah.
Which would end up taking up the same footprint.
So, moving on. So, we talked about Dance Macabre at Efteling.
I thought you were going to say Dance Mikhail then.
Netflix.
Dance Macabre. But yeah, so obviously Dance Macabre is where Spook Splot. I said it again. Spook Splot.
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Well, no, Mikhail, because this is Dutch.
Because it's not English, is it?
You idiot.
I just wanted a Pulp Fiction reference, okay?
Yeah.
You did.
Spook Slot has been demolished. Before it got demolished, basically they went in and did a big 3D like rendering. Well, they captured all the 3D information. So they've basically been able to recreate the whole ride. They're going to put it into, I think, VR and stuff. But like they've just recreated the whole thing. And
I like
so
James, don't it?
I had a little look into what they're doing.
Yeah.
They are going metaverse with it.
Oh.
So it will be added to metaverse. And every Efteling employee will be given an NFT key.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which will give them access to the attraction and the behind the scenes areas. I don't know whether public will be able to go into the attraction. It might just be around.
Right.
I think
the
it'll
area.
Surely.
No, the way that it's being
yeah,
integrated with metaverse, you have to have that key to be able to go inside it.
Okay. Yeah,
someone can record it,
Yeah.
but if you want to experience it yourself, the keys are being given to employees, and then it's up to them if they want to sell them.
Oh, okay, so you can buy them. Okay, right.
There will be 3,000 keys given out to employees.
And then the option of the general public being able to experience it via the keys will be entirely up to the employees then, basically.
Up to the employees if they want to sell it to someone. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
See, this is like, obviously this sorry,
the way they've worded it, I think the keys might be giving access to all the behind the scenes stuff as well. So general public might be able to experience the actual attraction, but none of the behind the scenes stuff.
So there's plenty of examples of there's quite a few examples of NFTs like done well. Most of the time they're just scammy and just worthless. Like when it's being tried to use to like make money. But actually things like this is pretty cool, and it's like actually like a collector's item. To be able to be like, okay, like I will pay money to have this. It's just it's some kind of digital souvenir, isn't it, in a way, if you can get your hands on one.
Basically, yeah.
So that this is like really, I think hopefully we are through with the whole like scammy NFT, just like monkeys and stuff, bored apes and stuff. And this is like actually the future of like what it's meant to be used for, which is like cool stuff where it's like actually massive bits of work have been done into it. But it's pretty cool. I just love the fact that they've actually they've just gone to that level to maintain that ride. So it means no matter what, you'll always, it's kind of like what you guys are doing with virtual towers, you're trying to immortalize that ride, or the whole, not ride, but the park.
Yeah.
And you're creating it into like the best version of towers that you remember. And then in the future, you could, like you said before, like there could be options to like go in if there's a certain ride that's on a patch, for example, like if you're doing it around the world, for example, if that's where Dungeons is, you go back and do it when it was like you can go forward and do Toyland tours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can go back, you know. So
same with Duel. We've already said these in development streams. Like we've been looking at ways we can integrate different periods of time, so you can have all these moments. That's why we've got Ripsaw. You know, we've even thought about putting Thunder Looper in Forbidden Valley, but that would be a nightmare because we'd have to strip out a lot of stuff. But there's little things we can add, and we can change stuff on the fly. If we can do that, I was just looking at the technology that they were using then with that. They were using 3D scans. They're putting it into Blender and then they were rendering it in Unreal Engine 5, what it looked like for me.
So, it wasn't Unreal.
Was it not? Was it Unity?
No. It's metaverses.
Conversation makes no sense to me.
Wow.
It looked like it, but it wasn't either of them.
Right. Cool.
But they were saying if you get a chance, go to the Efteling YouTube channel and watch the video. If you put the closed captions on, you can follow everything what they're saying.
Yeah.
But they were saying that like the 3D scanning was like so good that there were like bits in there that they didn't even know were there. Like bits of like the theming and bits sort of hanging onto it, and it's like picking up like
details.
Just mad details like bugs and stuff. Like
we'd
that
love
good
to be able to 3D scan things in towers. We really would, but it's so expensive to get one, and to get permission from the park as well would be really difficult.
How much is like one of them units, the 3D scanner thing?
Ridiculous. I think not as much as they used to be, because everyone seems to be able to get all of them as some sort of company now, but they are expensive, like tens, maybe thousands.
Yeah, tens of thousands. Because you can get like drones now that are about 15k, and they will do a lot of surveying, like measurements, and it's not 3D scanning, but it's almost taking like 3D. It's measuring everything in a 3D plane and stuff. So it will just
phones can do it. Phones can do it now with LiDAR, but they don't provide the information you really need to get accurate scans. But but if you wanted to scan something and throw it in to a 3D render, you could quite easily use a phone scan. Quite easily.
Interesting. All right. Well,
but it's cool. I just like the fact that like you say, they're trying to.
Yeah,
they know the history of that park is so valuable to people's memories, and they're just trying to hold on to them for people and for the employees as well, which is a really cool touch. Like, won't see anyone doing that.
Yeah.
Right. So we are gonna go.
There's a
obviously,
siren going off, sorry.
Yeah. Right. So we have a dilemma now because Emma's recently done Curse. James hasn't. But I'm gonna remove James for like.
Go get a snack. That's what I did, James. It was great. Just have a little bit of a snack.
And I'll bring.
You don't even have to remove me. I'll just take my headset off and just sit here eating crisps in front of everyone.
I'm gonna remove you. I'm gonna remove you for like a couple of minutes because we've already done a big catch up anyway. So, okay. So Emma's done. Oh, let me get the banner up.
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
Right.
Curse spoilers.
So Emma, you went and did it at the weekend. Curse at Alton Manor. What was your thoughts?
I was very impressed. I went into it. Obviously, you guys have all told me how good it was, and I was still a bit like, do you know what? They've not had loads of time, and I was like, I'm quite a tough critic. Like, sometimes I can just be like, oh, it was all right. But like from walking into the area, I was like, okay, and like with the queue line and stuff. Like the first time we walked in, we went into the pre-show and it didn't work, so I was like, oh, here we go. But the ride had broke down, so we left and went back in. And as soon as I saw the pre-show and like the whole thing and like the way the room is, I was like, okay, like that was the bit where I was like, ooh, maybe it is actually going to be good. And I can say that I got off the ride and I was like, not speechless, it's a bit dramatic, but you know, there's a lot going on, right? And I just remember just being like, what was that? But like the best way. I was like, hold on, like it wasn't remotely how I thought it was going to be. It was better. And I was shocked because I was like, hold on, they've had like what, 6-7 months? And I was like, that's fucking insane what they have done in that amount of time, that the ride is completely fucking different. And I
Yeah.
was like, ooh. And then we had to go around straight away. And it was okay. Then we had effects that worked that time that didn't work the last time. Not that the first go was rubbish, because it wasn't. But I was just genuinely shocked about what they've done, like in the best way.
Yeah.
Because I just never anticipated that it would be as good as it was. Not because I'm saying that like Merlin ain't got it in him or anything like that. I was just like trying not to hype myself up and be let down.
Yeah. I think
But
I
I was
mean,
shocked.
put it this way, I knew what was gonna be in there, and I hadn't even done like hadn't done a walk around or anything, but I knew it was gonna be in there, and I did it, and it shocked me. I was like,
Mhm.
what? How have they
It's
done that
nuts.
much? Yeah.
And I genuinely as well, like it wasn't scary because I went on it with my daughter Lola, and I was worried that she might find it too spooky, which she kind of did the first time, but she went on it after that and was fine.
Yeah.
I jumped like a bitch, like maybe 5 times. I was like, Gemma. Like Gemma was sat with me. She was
Jumped
howling.
like a bitch.
The scary was all the way down. I'm like, Jesus, it really got me.
Yeah, it
And
does.
I was just so surprised at how it's still a very family ride, but it does frighten you at certain points. Like it does make you
It's
jump.
got jumps in it. It's definitely
It's got
scarier than
serious
Jaw
jumps.
was.
Even the
Yeah.
second and third time, the same things made me jump. I knew it was coming, but it did make me jump. And to be fair, I think they've just done a phenomenal job. I know there's a few dead spots and stuff, and there's a bit more to come. But to open it how it
I was gonna say, are they
was
still tweaking
amazed.
things on it?
Oh well, yeah. There's like thing. Basically, what I read. I can hear myself again, Emma.
Ugh. Shall I go get some headphones?
Well, I don't know because it's going to take a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you just turn it down just a touch? You still be able
Turn
to
you
hear us.
down.
Yeah, turn us down, and then
There you go.
so yeah. Can you still hear us? Yeah. So basically, I read somewhere, but I don't know how true this was. I think it was a traction source. It was a thing saying that they talked to someone, and they said that it's because of it was really hard with that ride system to test the ride with different weights on each car. So as soon as you start putting different weights in it, all the different guests, and then there's empty cars, one car going slower affects the rest of the track. So it just like it messes up with like the triggering system. So it takes like quite a while for it to just level out basically, and all the triggering to properly work. So I don't know if it's certain effects that are not working or it's more to do with the triggering. But I've heard today, I don't know what it is because again, I don't want to know what it is yet, but I've heard that there's a new effect in there today. People have been hinting at there's a brand new effect in there that hasn't been working before.
Oh, wow.
So there's going to be, I think, little bits like that. Because I know there's a few effects in there. I've been told that a few effects that haven't worked yet, but whether or not they come into fruition, they might just say, actually, we don't need it. So I don't want to say there's definitely going to be more effects in there. But from my point of view, I hope not. What?
That they don't just leave them out and just be like, we don't need this. Like,
well, I don't know, because sometimes, like, when you're doing these rides, you might end up trying to do a really complex thing that in the end you're like, it doesn't actually need it. If it's a really problematic effect. I mean, again, look at the whole rise of resistance thing. Like the fact that what we were saying, the fact that an A and B mode exists is ridiculous for that ride. For a ride in Universal, the fact that half the time people are doing a ride that has a major effect missing, and it's still doing that, like it's kind of like, why don't you just take the effect out in a way? And then just like make something that, it's just a bit of a weird one.
Well, having done
like Universal Disney.
I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. But just like with having done Rise only in B mode, the one effect that I was looking forward to the most was not included in B mode.
Yeah.
So, like...
But if you didn't know that, if you didn't know that existed, you'd still have enjoyed Rise just as much. So like, it's kind of like, why keep it in there if something keeps breaking? And most people I speak to have done B mode, and then now and again people are like, oh no, we got that. Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird, right? Coaster Bot said it best. He was just like why have they even put it in there? Do you know what I mean? Like, why make a ride that you're like, well, this effect may not work. so you'll say if you're queuing the exact same time as everyone else, and you get a lesser experience. Like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Okay, right. I get the point you're trying to make now. Yeah. To be honest,
but that ride works without it. So it's kind of like
it does,
and
so
it is still good without it.
It is.
I've done
both.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. The Rise,
Rise spoilers, by the way.
Impressed by.
Oh, it's too late now. It's too, mate. It's been
We
years.
could bring
I was
James
about to
back
say it's been
in
open
now,
how many years now? 4 years?
No, not yet.
But like, I forgot what I was going to say now. Fuck.
Well, hold on. Let's just stick to Curse because James has got to come back. So we'll just finish up Curse and then we'll get on to Luke's Disneyland trip. But yeah, all in all, yeah. So you enjoyed it then? So you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. I was just like I say, I was shocked, and I only got 3 rides on it because it died after dinner and never came back alive again. But even them 3 rides, I was on it with Chris and Gemma, and they were like, "Oh, did you see this?" And I was like, "No," and they were like, "Oh, in this bit, look at this," and then I saw it, and then I was, there's a lot going on in there. It was kind of overwhelming the first time because I was like, "Oh shit! Like where do I need to look?"
Yeah.
But then I did like the fact that I would notice something different, little Easter eggs and stuff like that all the time. And that photo at the end, man, my photo on all 3 rides. I was mortified on them photos. I knew it was coming, and I was just like, oh.
It's a really weird part of the ride, isn't it? Because you just have this like wall in front of you, and then you turn, and then boom. It's like, what?
I shot a brick the first time. I was like,
because everyone just goes, "Oh, I know. This is where the zombie used to shoot you and take a photograph." And it's like, shit. What was that?
It made me jump every time because I was like looking at things, and I was like, oh my god.
For me,
that's something so simple, but it made me jump every time.
Yeah, it's a very simple scale. It works. It's great.
Yeah, for me,
I can't wait to get back on it again.
Me too.
Same. I've done it like so many times. I'm still thinking about it every day. I'm like, I want to go back.
Can't wait.
I've got time to go and do it.
Just love the area. I love the area. What they've done with it.
I had a goth ice cream, and it was incredible.
Goth ice cream.
I just
I was like, "There's a bit of that."
I'll tell you what I think of it sometime next year.
Everything will be working by then, hopefully.
Yeah.
But it was just, I don't know. I just, for me, like the longer, I loved it, and every time I've done it, I like it even more. Even on the 20th ride when I did it, I was like, I'm enjoying it even more, and I just like the fact that we have like a spooky ride in this country that has like its own IP in Towers. Like, I love the fact that Towers like keep trying to do this, where they're just like, no. Obviously, we have like David Williams and stuff, but just in terms of the major attractions, we've got these stories that they can draw from and do things like the fireworks that have their own lore and stuff, like, and they've just added to that with the Alton now.
I tell you what, though, it makes me excited for Nemesis now, because when you see what they've done with that in such a short amount of time, and then you think, right, obviously we know the ride do again with Nemesis, but I'm well excited to see what they do with the area, and they've put that much into Gloomy Wood, and like it's like, oh, I'm excited now to see what crazy shit they come up with for Nemesis.
And they've already set the bar with the whole closing ceremony weekend thing.
Yeah,
they already set the bar high from a thematic and story standpoint.
Yeah,
so they have to meet that in itself.
All you have to do is walk down towards Nemesis, Mikhail, and you see the story on the posters they've put out there. You know, it's all there. It's in plain sight. And I think
don't say that. I know what you're laughing about, Emma.
it's good.
Yeah,
it's cool.
They're my photos, by the way, on that one.
Good quality photos.
It wasn't my fault.
The photos are
fine. With Gloomy Wood, because I didn't expect them to like do that whole area up. Like, I knew they was going to do the ride, but I didn't expect them to like put more things in that area.
Yeah.
So
I love reading all the little signs and stuff.
Yeah, great.
So now I'm just so hyped that like, what if they do that with Nemesis? You know, when
I think
Forbidden
they're gonna
Valley
kill it.
opens up, are they going to redo that whole area?
And Horizon.
Imagine
Afternoon.
Horizon, a ground
true,
up
yeah.
ride. That's an
That is
indoor,
raw.
like what we know is an indoor coaster.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! Like if they're doing that from scratch, that's going to be next level.
Can't
like,
wait for the
surely.
story of that. Can't wait.
In
for
terms of the
theming of that.
authenticity and believability of each of these attempts at their own IP and their own backstory, adding that into the attractions, they keep getting higher and higher quality.
Yeah, they do.
Like
Wicker Man was a big step up,
there's
wasn't
been
it?
times in the there's been times in the past where I'm like I see what you tried to do, but I'm not sure how believable I find it to be. Like this, like even without having experienced the ride myself, like seems the level of authenticity and just how it makes sense within Alton Towers is like past storied history and its lore and everything. It makes sense, its positioning in it and just its presence within it, and it just seems like every time they try to do this now, they're just getting better and better at improving the legitimacy of each iteration of it. And like I'm really impressed. I think they're gonna absolutely kill Nemesis's new just identification and so.
Well, the companies they work,
I think they're going to do such a great job with it.
So the companies that they are working with, that apart from Merlin Magic Making, obviously, which is like in-house or almost a separate company though, they've got the companies they're working with are people who have been who are like past Imagineers, like people who have worked on Velocicoaster, on the visuals, on everything, and like that's coming to Towers now. That's coming to probably Exodus, to be honest. I don't know for a fact, but we might be getting that with that level of detail on Exodus. So it's taken a while to get back up there, but like it's getting there now, isn't it?
That's so wild. You never know who's involved with these major projects, and then you find out they've worked on this, they've worked on this, they've worked on this, and it's
know what we talk about.
It all starts to make sense just to
right. If you look at Conductor, the people who are part of Conductor's team,
that's what I mean.
Like
exactly.
Disney Shanghai, like they've been involved in all that sort of stuff. The Pirates ride, like so much stuff. And that's that's the same minds behind that I've worked on Curse. Yeah. So it's like it shows you like the
you can.
I keep forgetting if we're all right with mentioning names in these instances and stuff. But yeah.
Well, more information coming soon on that.
Sure.
Something in the works.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's bring James back in.
Anyway.
Hello, James. Where is he?
Let's
Hello.
go.
There he is.
Hey.
Hello.
So, I'm
free from jail.
I need a quick comfort break. So I'm gonna carry on listening on my phone.
Go
get your comfort collar.
I mean, that's in the bottom drawer, mate. You don't want to see that.
Fucking hell. Talk about Disney, man.
So on that bombshell, Luke, how was Disneyland Paris?
Disneyland Paris was awesome. I can't. What the fuck?
You can't live up to that.
No, it's like Flight Force about as rough as that joke he just came out with. It was Disney was great. So who here has been to Paris? Disneyland Paris. Yo.
Cool. Many years ago.
Yeah, it was a while. It was a while back still.
No, I've not been.
All right, so spoiler alerts. So
it's fine. I don't want to go.
It's fine. So I'll leave Avengers Campus until Sean comes back because we all know he hates on it.
Yeah, please do.
We've got so my first ride there was Space Mountain, Hyperspace Mountain, which is the Star Wars overlay. Obviously, being a massive Star Wars fan and Rise of Resistance being my last Star Wars ride that I did, other than Star Tours, which is there as well, which is cool. A roller coaster themed to Star Wars was... I have no connection to the previous storyline of that ride about the moon and all that stuff that's going on.
Sick.
Yeah, I imagine it was sick. It's Disney. It's going to be good. But it was great to be flying around TIE fighters and Star Destroyers and stuff like that. And to launch to the Star Wars theme was fucking epic. It was so good. And the ride itself, I was surprised because Danielle doesn't really like intense coasters, and she came on and she loved it. So, and I think that was down to the trains. The trains that they put on it, they're really comfy. They are they are really comfy.
The newer gen Vekoma trains.
And the launch is fun as well. One thing when say something about the trains.
Oh no! It's just it's those newer, not the new gen Vekomas, but like the newer Vekoma MK1200 trains.
Yeah, and it's just nice to
like with the vest, they're much more comfortable.
Yeah, be out here. It's a lot more comfortable, and I'm a big guy, and it is really nice to sit in.
For sure.
Bit hard to get out of because it's so fucking deep down to the track. It's like you're almost below spine level. It's ridiculous. But that thing though, when it goes, we went on it. We actually rode it probably third or fourth last ride of the night on it, and it fucking hauls through that layout at night.
It's so good.
Ridiculously
I really
quick.
love it.
It was really fun. I'd highly recommend it to anyone. It was such a great experience.
This is why, like,
as well.
I was surprised when you talked about like the rides you were most looking forward to getting on, and I was surprised you didn't like almost instantly say Hyperspace Mountain just purely because it's a looping launch roller coaster themed to Star Wars.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm like,
you know what? This whole Paris trip, I was like, in my head, I was comparing it too much to Florida because that's my only other Disney experience that I've had, other than the Disney stores that we had in the UK. But like that is it. So I was going in there like, what's it going to be like? What's Main Street going to be like? What's Phantom Manor going to be like? Just Big Thunder was down, so I couldn't ride Big Thunder. Yeah. But there were certain.
Wait, you didn't get on it at all?
No, it was down. The maintenance,
closed maintenance.
The re-trim. I think there's rumors that they're taking the trim out off the splash drop, and they're just gonna let it fucking run on.
Oh yeah.
Which would be pretty cool from what I've seen.
That'll be interesting.
But I'll be going back, and I will get to do that. But I managed to get everything else in. I got Pirates in, I got Phantom Manor in, I just got loads of stuff in. But Avengers Campus was fun. Hi, Sean.
Saying Avengers Campus is fun.
It was good.
Everything you need to know.
It was great. I loved it.
You're like a massive Marvel fan, and you're like, it was fun.
It was fun. It was really fun. It was, but it was the best themed area in Paris.
I should have brought popcorn for this shit.
It was. It was. Everything looks. It's not fair to say it looks run down or old, but it
looks run down and old.
It's not. It's got its own character, but it's not run down and old. There's something about it that is just different. You can't put your finger on it. It's like it's trying to be Disney, but it's strange. It's such a strange park for me.
Disney in France, like the French architecture and stuff. That sort of side of it.
It just didn't feel like Florida. I was a bit gutted about that. I'm not gonna lie. I love. Like I watched the Imagineering story and the whole background behind Disneyland Paris, and it being the ultimate Magic Kingdom that they could build. With all of the architecture and stuff, and how beautiful it is at the time. And all the rides are better versions of other rides. And yeah, fair, they are. Most of them are. But the atmosphere in the place just felt very flat compared to like Magic Kingdom in Florida.
Yeah, because everyone's happy in Florida.
Everyone's very happy and sweaty. Yeah.
When you go to grey old Paris.
Yeah, but you're probably right.
Yeah. It sounds like everyone's stressed out at Magic Kingdom from what I've heard.
List all the characters you saw. I saw a lot of characters. Like a lot. That was a cool interaction we had with Spider-Man, Black Widow, all the Avengers in Avengers Campus.
Do you not find it weird? Because when I was watching videos, I think I said it last time. But you not find it weird that you're like they just look like off-brand version, like
do you know what? In the flesh, they don't.
Like Black Widow from Wish, no.
No, it actually
does it not give you like like Gardaland Jumanji vibes?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you're saying, and I was thinking the exact same thing. But when I saw when I saw Black Widow, I was like, actually, this kind of because I don't mind like Ray, when you see Ray walking around Galaxy's Edge and all the other characters, I don't mind that. And it's not, not Daisy Ridley walking around. So it's all that kind of stuff. But I like the way that they use the area, like training, basically. It's a training area for the Avengers, and that's what it's for. And it's really cool. Web Slingers actually queued 60 minutes for that. And I was like, why am I doing this? I was in the queue line. I was like, why am I doing this? And then as we were going around the queue line, I started to notice so many fucking Easter eggs, like from the movies, from the shows, from the comic, everything. I was like, it was ridiculous. From the locker names, people who built the ride, loads of stuff that was going on. Even in the concrete, there was like initials engraved into the concrete and stuff, which was so cool. When you're walking around, and the ride itself, even though you're just doing this for like 2 minutes trying to spin webs out and stuff, it's so much fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like my worst nightmare.
It's good.
It's like, I hate Ninjago. Like, I love Legoland. I hate Ninjago. I hate anything where you have to like I don't mind shooty rides, but even like Mouse of Chocolate, whatever. Like, I don't like.
No, it's not. The masturbation ride. No,
yeah, the masturbation ride.
Like, what the hell? It's
that
just
ride
so
is
annoying.
wank, literally. It's
I don't like it. Don't.
I only hate
Web Slingers
Ninjago because I can't do it.
The first time
Ninjago is just like, I'm like,
It never works. I'm
like, this is just an arcade
That's
game.
the thing.
It's
never
an arcade
works,
game. It's all it
right?
is an arcade game. And I'm like,
So,
I don't. It just annoys me.
With Web Slingers, though, I was like, I threw my hand the first time. I just went, huh. Like, 'cause I wasn't interested. I was like, I just want to see everything. So I was just like, huh. And it literally went out from where my hand went, where my eyes went. And I hit the spider button. And I was like, holy shit, this actually works every single fucking time. So I just started going mental. I was just hitting everything. And it was really good. We actually got a pretty decent score. But I didn't go on it again. But then I went on Flight Force afterwards. And the Iron Man animatronic is ridiculous. You think Kylo's good in Rise? Nah, this is far superior. It's so good.
It's because they spent the whole budget of the area on it.
Yeah, pretty much. I like the building as well with the LED panels. That's really cool when that's going off. And then the ride itself, the launch is fun, but then it just does nothing. Like, it does nothing. It does a few inversions that just don't even feel like anything. There's no force. You just meander around. The best bit is probably the little airtime hill before the break run on that ride. It's like a little hop. But as soon as you leave the launch section isn't as bad as it looks on videos as well. It doesn't stop. You roll into it, and then it holds you, and then it fires you off.
What I
on
don't like
screens.
about it is the fact that they could have done so much more just in the launch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but they just have like screens. It looks like you're at a conference. Like, I'm just like just little screens all the
You
way
could have
down.
put one
I'm like,
above, like above
you could have
the
done
launch
like,
tunnel.
they could have done
Yeah.
so much in there, and it's just, to me, I was like, that just speaks to like actually how much they actually care about that park, where they've just like they've done the minimum for that ride specifically.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
They could have
It
done
is
a
cool,
lot in
though.
that, but
The
it's,
music,
I'll have to do it. I like I say, I haven't done it.
the
so I can't-
story makes no sense. Like, you're basically you're helping Iron Man and Captain Marvel fight these things, these alien invaders to invaders campus, and you're just whizzing around. Whereas like Hyperspace Mountain has a story, like you are following, TIE fighters around. You actually do interact with them as well. They fire lasers at you and stuff. Whereas this is just like you just see them. You don't actually interact with them, and it's really weird. It's almost pointless, to be honest with you. The screens in there, they should have just thrown loads of LEDs and loads of blue lights from Iron Man flying off the thing and that. But it was good, but I didn't need to go on it again, and I felt sad for that because it's an Iron Man themed ride, and I love Iron Man as a character, and the whole Marvel thing. I love Marvel, but I will say one thing about it.
Wait 1 sec. I need to do this before I forget. So James said that Magic Kingdom's the worst Disney castle park in the world. And I'm not that bothered about that, because I'm saying like Magic Kingdom, I'm not that fussed about Magic Kingdom. But saying that Paris has the best Terror Towers is absolute joke. Like, definitely, like Florida's Tower of Terror is like definitely the best one. There's no question, right?
I got smited by it.
Hollywood Studios' Tower of Terror is the only one I've done, so I can't really say.
But that has the whole dark ride going through the building and then down. Like every other one just goes up and down. So there's just no way, even though I haven't done it, that is a terrible take, James. Just that one thing alone. Like that is not the best Tower.
A lot of people say Guardians Mission Breakout is better than.
Yeah, but they are just absolute normies because they just want to go to the cinema and watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, shut up. Twilight Zone or nothing. Stop it. Leave them alone.
You say Toilet Zone or Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone.
I thought you said Toilet Zone. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I like Guardians of the Galaxy. I really like Cosmic Rewind, but I don't want to lose Twilight Zone. Like, it's such a good IP. Like, it's such an iconic ride. Like, does anyone else agree? Like, am I just?
No, I've not done it.
No,
but you've all seen like what the ride is. It's cool.
Enjoyed Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios more than I enjoyed Rise. I did. Yeah. So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I just
what you say you like
for one thing. I enjoyed Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios more than I enjoyed Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, for one thing, I didn't know that Paris's Tower of Terror was different in terms of like what it does to Florida's. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's
and to like in that I obviously haven't done it, so like I can't really agree or disagree with it. But I wouldn't be surprised if Florida's is the best because it is awesome.
It is the best.
It's really.
And Eddie's saying, "I'd love every single one of them getting into Breakout." That's just because you're a massive normie, Eddie. That's why. So there. Go listen to Radio 1 and do your mission break. There you go.
Sean.
Wow.
How is saying Radio 1 that bad? Like,
did you have a bad night's sleep last night, Sean?
I know Eddie.
Is that what it is?
Eddie can take it. Did
you not have
to be fair, no. I'll say this. I'll say this as well.
Rather than just. Oh, you know I'm joking. Why are you making it like I'm being actually mean? You know
I'll say this as well. If Eddie is the person that I think he is, or if I'm remembering to be, he had something to say about Fast and Furious Supercharged as well, in that he thought it was an awesome ride. So, like, if you are the person who I remember seeing say that, I don't know if I trust your opinions that much as well, because Fast and Furious Supercharged is legitimately the worst dark ride I've ever done. So, like,
Stam said he's about to end you in another. He's going to end Eddie in another diss track.
Eddie has just said the best dark ride in the world.
Yeah, there you fucking go. No, you cannot be trusted. Get the hell out.
Eddie's must just be doing a Mark Yates. He surely must be. Just getting that bait out there.
Went on it during Halloween Horror Nights. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Mate, you paid the extra. Okay.
How can you do it? I thought the queue was for. Did they have a different?
Yeah, like what? Didn't they?
They used the queue for black
for one of the scare mazes, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or what was it? Yeah, the Horrors of Blumhouse one. Didn't even know that's running it.
Have you ever been on any old Phantasialand dark rides? Yes, all of them.
Nice rickshaw.
Yes. What's the other one? That's Mortal Kombat Hex. Which one's that?
Oh god!
Dude, it'd be better with a Mortal Kombat tune in it.
What I missed the first time I went there because I thought it was a Chinese restaurant.
Yes, you did. I remember you going, see, can you see how I got confused with this building?
I genuinely thought it was a Chinese restaurant.
That looks like a fucking all you can eat. That's what it does.
That is amazing.
I was like, fuck's sake, James.
That's so good.
Yeah. Oh, Phantasialand. They have some great dark rides. It's brilliant.
Eddie was saying 2019.
There you go.
Horror Nights. That's why.
Alright.
That's why.
Yeah, so overall, I really enjoyed Disneyland Paris. It didn't have the same vibe as I was hoping to have, because it's only a 2-hour flight, not 11 a bit or whatever it is. It's Florida, so I was like, damn it, I still need to get that Florida fix every now and then. So I was like, shit. But then I saw what the building next, and it looks incredible. And it's the Frozen Land, but there's also a coaster as well in there, which looks just absolutely batshit crazy bonkers. The whole area just looks insane. It looks so good, and it's such an extension to the park, which it desperately needs. I mean, I walked around. What?
Oh, just about that coaster. What?
It's in a mountain. There's a coaster in a mountain, like in
For
the
what?
Frozen.
For Frozen?
Yeah.
I did not know about this.
No. So,
Arendelle.
in the Frozen land that's being built at Tokyo Disney Sea or Tokyo Disneyland, I can't remember. One of those
the
Tokyo
same
Disney
thing,
parks.
the building.
That looks a lot to be very similar to what the hell is it called? Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
in terms of. Yeah. Oh, I thought when you said batshit crazy.
Oh no, I was saying the whole
area.
area. No.
What is that about to be?
No, yeah,
Colorado Adventure and Disney.
Yeah, right.
No.
With swinging. Imagine Colorado Adventure with swinging trains.
Mate, you
Oh
would not
my
be in the train any longer. like, what?
Going through that
was
fucking
brilliant.
tunnel. Oh my god, you'd be like, you'd hit the roof.
It'd leave you in the tunnel.
It just flip and toss you out. But no, the whole new area that they're building, it's such an extension to the park that it needs as well. And I really think that that's something to go back for. And I think I will wait for that to happen. But it's going to be so good.
James is saying Hong Kong is only getting the coaster. Paris isn't.
Paris is only getting Ever
Frozen. Is that the dark ride, the one they've got in Epcot?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought they were getting the coaster.
But
It shows
will be-
track on the artwork
Maybe it's just like reused.
at the gate to the new land.
Yeah. sounds
Also
like
shows
it.
Galaxy's Edge 2.0 as well, which ain't happening.
Right.
So
Everything
But-
gets cancelled there, doesn't it?
the construction site of this new area is fucking huge. It's massive. So I'm looking forward to going back and seeing how that pans out. That's going to be good.
The concept art of the Frozen castle and just like the architect, the architecture of the area for Arendelle, however you pronounce it, like it looks.
Tarandale.
Taryn.
May I wish.
Bingo cards.
Yeah, like it looks like it really, really high quality. So like I think I'd be most excited about seeing that more so than anything else.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
point. It's got me wanting to go back to a place I didn't necessarily overly enjoy as much as I thought I would, but what the building next is going to give you a lot more to do. Ratatouille ride was exactly the same as well as Florida. That was good. I enjoyed that.
I really want to go to Paris now, just so I can be like hated
shit on Avengers Campus with some legitimacy.
James, Paris is the worst Disney park ever. Just so I can say that. I mean, I might really enjoy it, but what I do really want, what I'm really excited. The single reason, no, two reasons I want to go to Paris, Disneyland Paris, is for Big Thunder, obviously.
Yeah, well, when open.
And Phantom Manor. Phantom Manor to me looks like the best incarnation of them Haunted Mansion rides for me.
Yeah.
It just looks like my type of ride.
It is, but it takes a while to get going, and that's what I don't like about it.
Really?
It's like it's such a setup for what happens. It's just like ugh.
I just love the fact that it's like that one's themed into like the western area.
It's literally Frontierland.
Yeah, Frontierland. And then like
Yeah, I've
graveyard
never
bit.
understood the connection.
they always theme them up to it because like the Disneyland's New Orleans area, isn't it? So it's wherever land it's in. It's like it has a slight deviation of the story to fit into that.
I think it's the culture as well. Like
Yeah,
French
they
people
did
don't
change
wanna
quite a
see-
lot of it for the.
You want to
culture
see
in
American
France.
stuff instead of like a graveyard and and all that kind of stuff. So they threw in Frontierland, which is very Americanized West, West. It is literally like you're going through a cowboy town.
That's why, but that looks cool to me. I don't know. Why.
It is cool. It
Yeah.
is. It is really cool. I will say this: I prefer Curse.
Okay. I've seen people rate Curse under these bigger rides like Phantom and Hunt, just under. But when you're saying people have been doing massive dark rides across the world, like people are still rating it like in their top 5 dark ride, which is great. Like I get it, but it's right on my street. I'm not spoiling anything. Don't worry, James. I'm not gonna say anything.
Same.
But like
Same.
I'm just saying, like I know that I would love it because I loved Haunted House. I even liked Jewel. Like I loved Jewel because I loved Haunted House, and they still had that history
about
to
being
it.
in that building with all the stuff going on. It's really cool.
So, and it's like one of my favorite facades in the world. Like it's just that facade is like just amazing.
Yeah.
And so I knew I'd love it, and it's so Alton Towers as well. The whole ride is so Alton. It would only exist at Alton Towers, so I know I'd love it. But even there's people not like me who probably aren't even like as big a fans of Alton Towers as I am, still loving that ride as a standalone thing is really good to see. But anyway, tangent.
Yeah, I had fun. It was good. Go to Disneyland Paris, experience it, and see what you think. There's some great rides. Pirates of the Caribbean is fucking awesome in Paris. It's so much fun.
Is it better than Orlando?
Yeah. Spoiler: it has 2 drops.
It has 2 drops.
I can't remember anything about Paris Pirates. I remember enjoying it a lot, but I can't remember anything about it.
I remember being terrified by it because
really
I was very young. And that was
because of, the scene with all the pirates and the bridge when they're all on and the guys pouring rum out and stuff and the bullets are going off. That's where you do a drop. It's so cool.
That's cool.
It. It's next to a restaurant as well, which is really strange when you go late in the afternoon and people are eating by the side of you as you're going round before you go in the lift. It's like, what?
A question about Phantom Manor. You know, does it have a stretching room?
Yes, it's very.
Does it have the noose bit where he hangs?
No, it doesn't have the noose bit. Just has the audio.
Because they basically come out. I think this was a news thing a couple of days ago saying that they've removed all references to nooses inside Phantom Manor.
I didn't see any,
which is really odd to just do that like now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
a bit late.
I'm like, it's Disney.
And it did seem rushed. It did seem rushed through that first bit. We were proper crammed in there as well. That's one thing I hate about Haunted Mansion and Phantom Manor is the fucking loading and the batching system. It's chaos. As soon as you leave the stretching room, it's just
it's like
chaos.
that when they're trying to funnel you in. And then everyone's trying to. It's like when you try and get through Wickerman's free show, isn't it? And everyone's just pushing in, and then
through like 2 rooms.
And you like if you're with quite a few people, like
it must be difficult. Me and Danielle struggled to stay together at some points during that. It was just chaos. Yeah. And people you've been stood next to, you'd see them like.
I just don't get why people ahead. Like, I don't get why people, like, especially with the Haunted Mansion rides, they are so high throughput once you're in there. Like, why rush to, like, you're not going to save any time. Same with Wicker Man. Like, why do people just try and, like, run in front of you when you're just, like, you're literally, like, going to be on the same train as, like, does it matter?
No, we're literally on the same train. Going round.
Stupid.
It was really... Oh, the queue line sucked as well. Like Haunted Mansion queue line's amazing, with all the instruments and all
really good.
Little Easter eggs and stuff. But Phantom Manor was just a
when it's open though. Every time I go, it's never open. I've only ever done that extended queue. Yeah, normally, like we've always been on quieter times, so you just basically, as you'd go up.
Right.
You just go straight up to the front door.
Fucking hell! Wow.
Which is nice. Yeah. Nice, because then it's like you will basically just wait. I think the only time there's the first time we went, and it was like the first day in Magic Kingdom was the only time we did that extended queue. Every other time it's just been straight up to the door.
Wow. Well, that's a shame. Make sure you get in the queue line at some point though, because there's a lot to experience.
I mean, we did do it all, like the interactive instruments and everything.
Yeah.
But it tells you like more the story behind what you're about to go into as well. Like if you read all the spit, all the headstones and everything. So anyway, let's get on. Oh, sorry, is that Are you doing anything
Done.
else?
Done. Go to
Okay.
Disneyland Paris, check it out, and enjoy Hyperspace Mountain and French Star Tours. That was weird.
Is it all in French?
Yeah.
Then is it like as?
Bonjour.
That's a weird thing about Paris because, like, I'm not bothered
Yeah.
if I'm not bothered. Like when I go to Efteling and
I'm
stuff,
not
like,
bothered. No.
I'm like, okay, you're Dutch. Like, of course it's going to be Dutch, but
Yeah.
isn't like Paris like a bit of everything? Like,
Yeah, but it's
now
really
and again-
confusing.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, it's now and then. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
they
mixed.
just learn English just every now and then. It's like Buzz Lightyear is fully English, the whole thing. And
Yeah.
then
That
you
I
come
think
out-
from when they did it, it was like they want as much stuff to be in English as possible, but because of the whole cultural thing, they have to have a certain amount of stuff in French.
yeah.
yeah.
It's like a requirement for them to do it. So it's like you get
But I'm
some
like,
really random things
if
in
you like,
French.
you can't. I'm just like, well, if you're gonna do that, I'd rather you just do it all in French and maybe give us some subtitles or something. Like, can
Yeah.
we not just do that? Like, it'd
Yeah.
be so much easier. Like,
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
rather than like the gamble of like, oh, is it going to be French? Is it going to be English?
Oh yeah, I will say one thing about Disneyland Paris: the food is shocking.
Is it really that bad? Because everyone
There's
goes,
nothing. There is literally nothing. Like there's nothing remotely Disney about the food at Disneyland Paris. I ended up going to what is it? Sandwich in Village. We literally walked out the park to get food in Disney Village. It's that much better than what's available in the park.
Oh,
So
It's
what is it?
sad.
Just like burgers and stuff? What?
It's just
what?
shit. It's all this, every store,
Actual shit.
literally burgers, hot dogs, cookies, crepes. That's it. Every
Yeah.
fucking store you go to is the same, right?
Mm.
Every shop you go in after a ride is the same.
Same
I didn't see any. I saw one piece of ride merch, and that was a Flight Force hoodie. Believe it or not, the rest
Yeah.
non-existent. They're all Marvel shops and Frozen shops. They're not for the ride that you come off. Like there's nothing for Phantom Manor. There's
I
nothing.
guess
for,
like I guess it's that
Weird.
thing again, isn't it? Because like France is got such a different culture
yeah,
away from like America and like even Asia. Do you know what I mean? It's so different that maybe they're just like, well, the only thing that is selling is the IP stuff. Like no one wants like a Phantom Manor thing. Whereas you go to Orlando and there's such like a fandom
yeah.
for like Haunted Mansion. Like it sells so much, and then they make all this limited edition stuff. So I guess if it's not selling, they're just not going to do it, are they? Really?
Oh.
But it's just weird because I remember like in the Imagineering documentary that they tried so hard to be like, okay, well, you know, the French culture is that like they like to eat really slow and like they like to have a long rather than where maybe over here in America we just like okay, just quickly eat and go.
Yeah,
they try to get with the French culture and have like more French foods and stuff, and then they just serve burger, chips, and fries. Like,
yeah.
So that obviously didn't last long, then, did it? Like,
Didn't. Unless that's something that gets sorted out. So I don't know, but I really they need to improve that. It's all right having decent restaurants, but then what if you can't afford the restaurants? You still need to be able to have some decent food. Like I can't afford a restaurant at Magic Kingdom, but at Magic Kingdom in Florida, I can go to Sleepy Hollow and get some really cool food.
Yeah,
So
the quick serves is something that needs to be good because
Yeah.
I can't be asked to mess
It's a
about
waste
with
of time.
reservations and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
a
don't.
waste
I'd
of
rather just be out in the park. I don't want to be
Yeah.
sat in a restaurant.
And there's
Anyway.
so much to see as well, which takes away from it. But yeah,
Let's move on to the main topic. We have
Yeah, we're coming up fast on 2 hours here.
no, mate. The problem is that whole break where we went off.
yeah, it was like 15 minutes when it. So let's rip through
Wait,
this.
YouTube shutter break.
Yeah.
So, worst coaster you've ever done? Emma, go.
There's I think I have 3. I would say El Condor, Wallaby Holland, disgusting.
Yeah. I agree.
Luke Garou, Wallaby Belgium, disgusting. And Gulliver's World in Warrington, their Woody, the antelope.
No, the antelope's great.
No,
What's wrong
it's
with the
not.
antelope?
It makes no sense. The way it rides makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's like it goes so slowly, and at the bottom of the drops, whether it's the trains or just the way the bottom of the drops profiled, it just folds you in like an accordion. And you just like all of us all just kind of like last time I did it last year, we all just kind of went
yeah.
because it's going so slow. It's
I
like,
actually forgot about that ride, but it is bad,
It's-
isn't it?
Yeah.
fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Haven't done the
Fucking
interlope yet.
disgusting.
Good. One of my top one is El Condor or Condor, as
Yeah.
it's called now.
It's just
It's just so bad. Like I
Is
just
that
couldn't
the
believe
SLC at Wallaby Holland?
that's the SLC, the very first SLC
Yeah.
ever,
Don't make an appearance.
and it is just horrible. Like it's the worst. I've never got off something, and like I've done bad coasters and gone, oh, that was horrible. I've never got off something and been like actually like physically angry at the thing and being like, how dare you? Like I just hated it so much.
There's
It
far, and then there's too
On
far,
the day of
Tony.
the summer.
was-
it's weird. Did you do it? Did you have the old restraints?
we had the
when
old
you did it.
restraints. You had the
See,
new
I done it with
restraints.
the new vest restraints, so I don't know, but it was still incredibly disgusting.
Yeah, it's just
So
hated it.
on the theme of just SLCs in general, I was going to say bad SLCs, but SLCs in general. So T3. Someone mentioned T3 in
Quite a
the
few people
in the chat. Yeah,
Wow.
T3 is categorically the worst SLC I've ever done. Like
Wow.
by a considerable margin, largely because it doesn't actually run Vekoma trains anymore. It runs comeback trains, and those things comeback do not know how to make seats for human beings. They don't know how to do it. Them shits like the way the back is shaped, it was digging into my back the entire way around, and then the restraint just gets, because it's a suspended, it's an inverted coaster, it's positive heavy. The restraints just like they come further is basically just a lap bar with straps over it. Like so it's more so lap bar than OTSR, and the lap bar just comes further and further down on your legs. And like I'm not someone who like complains about stapling that much, but this shit was it was cutting off circulation in my thighs. Like it was so bad. And then obviously it's an SLC, so it's an SLC not called Kamali, so it's gonna run rough. And just those things together, just it was horrendous. It's the worst SLC I've ever done, and it's red on red. It's red track.
Yeah, it's so ugly.
Red
Right?
support.
Ugliest thing ever.
Ugly as hell, man.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting.
I've seen Stampede mentioned a lot, and that's on my list as well. Which is a shame because
I like Stampede.
it was
It
good.
used to be good.
Yeah, but it used to be good. The
Used
first year I did it.
It's a long time since I've done it.
The first time I did it, back in 2018, I think it was good. It was still decent. It wasn't like super comfortable, but I think we got like a couple of front row rides on it, and that was really good. And then the last time me and Joe went, I tried to give it multiple chances on both sides, and it's unbearable, man. Like it's so bad. Like they just need. It's just, to me, it makes no sense because Tomahawk, like the coaster next door, has got Millennium Flyers.
Yeah.
Why not just put them on this?
Pull the
why
fucking
not?
finger out and just put Millennium. Yeah.
It's so weird. I'm like, why you can put them on that one but not this one? Like it's so weird.
And that's actually quite a fun little coaster as well. That one.
Yeah, it's
I'm trying to
best
think
one in the
when it
park.
was when I did it. I think the last time I rode Stampede I was in high school, so it was before 2005. So it probably was.
Yeah, it was decent back then.
It was good.
I remember lapping it because I had a great time.
That might have been even before it had the new train. Because they got the new trains, didn't they, on it?
Yeah.
And that made it even worse.
Do you remember what year they put the new comeback trains on it? They're comeback trains as well. They don't know how to design trains.
2009,
Do you remember?
maybe?
2009?
Oh, it's a number that just sticks out in my head for some reason. That's like
so I went to Portaventura a few times in a row when I was like 8, 9, 10 years old. So I rode it with the original PTC trains, and then I went back in 2016 and I can't remember, number one, if I actually rode Stampede at that time, and two, if
Oh, you'd remember.
yeah, I probably didn't write it then. 'Cause I'll probably remember. But like, yeah, like it seems like most people just say like the trains are just shite. So like, I can only think like if like give the Stampeder seems like a prime candidate for a gravity group. A gravity group pre-cut retracking or a GCI retracking, or finish the GCI retracking that they started but then ran out of the money for, and then throw Millennium Flyers on it. And
2007 was the comeback trains, by the way.
Right, okay. So if I did ride it in 2016, I rode it with the comeback trains, and I can't remember. Maybe I just suppressed it from memory.
I mean, the comeback trains are not comfortable at all. But at the end of the day, like that train is not going to make a good coaster bad. Do you know? It's not going to make good track bad. It's, at the same time, like it just needs heavy track work. Like it could still be decent.
Yeah, it could be.
And it's just not been looked after. I mean, it's a pretty like. I mean, it's like they don't. It's on the seafront. It's so
a harsh
humid.
environment.
It's a very harsh environment for a wooden coaster to exist in. To be honest,
on a hill next to the sea.
There's reasons they don't do it. There's reasons why like not many. I don't know what wooden coasters exist in Florida now. I mean,
White Lightning, Mind
Blower.
Oh yeah, White Lightning's a hybrid, isn't it? Yeah.
Both are hybrid. Both are hybrid because it's because White Lightning has the still support structure. Mind Blower has it's the same. Yeah, that's a hybrid as well.
The same.
Probably the same.
But then, like, do you remember those? Do you remember those pictures of the track just on Mind Blower?
Yeah,
I do remember that.
What the hell, man?
Yeah.
Potholes for days.
So it's but it's one of them. But so Stampede. One let's stick the same park, and this is like a really kind of love it or hate it thing. But Fiora's Baco is absolute trash because it just is.
I've always liked Fiora's Baco.
It's got a good launch. I love I love everything about it except for after the launch. Then it's just horrible. Like it's okay if you're not sitting on the outside, but it just gives me that Gersake, what everyone goes on about when you get like a headache from a Gerstlauer or whatever. It's like a specific headache for me. It's like right there and at the back, and I get it. I get it on Smiler sometimes as well, but I get that with Fiora's Baco. And it's just a shame because it is cool. I love it how it looks off ride, how it goes over the what's it called?
Oh, I thought of another coaster. Sorry, go on.
Well done.
Thanks. I had it written down and everything. Clearly I didn't.
But yeah, no, I don't like it, and it doesn't get me excited. I like the launch. It is cool experience, but that's about it.
Okay. Sammy and Projection, chill the fuck out. The best ride in the park. Like, I like it, but Shambhala clears. Stop it right now.
Shambhala.
Stop it.
It's not even close.
Stop the bullshit. Shambhala clears, man.
How many coasters exit into a wine shop? You got a good point.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I love the theming. I love the whole vineyard. I think it's the queue line is so well done. I love that. I love the gift shop as well. I love the whole pre-show. Everything about it is great. The coaster sucks.
Never gets old.
It's just
I'm pretty sure it never gets old. It just fills up with wine.
Yeah,
it's cool. Hero.
It's just it's not the best. You're just trying to be edgy. If you say that's the best part right in the park, there is no other option. Then you're just trying to be edgy.
I've done many better beamers. Yes, so have I. It's still the best ride at Port Ventura.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be your favorite. It doesn't have to be your favorite one ever. It's just Shambhala is. There's no way Shambhala.
It's the best ride in the park. I'm not saying it's the best beamer. I'm not saying it's the best B&M.
So mine Hero's pretty shit, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you know
Moving
what?
on.
I found it bad, but I didn't think it was disgusting as everyone said.
/
Really?
every Zampa over there.
Did you not feel like
it was
getting
uncomfortable,
into
but
it
it
was
wasn't
like
awful.
was just a ball ache? It's like you have
It
to
was
do this
just
to
odd.
get into this ride.
Well,
And
literally
then you
or
go up the fucking
figuratively.
toast rack in Premier Inn, and you get dropped off and spin around like a fucking sausage in a fucking travel lodge fucking buffet. It's
I'm
stupid.
not even gonna lie. I wrote it when I
Buffet?
the
what?
last
No,
time-
it
You just fucking
reminds-
go round
No,
and then
no,
you just go.
The last time I went to Flamingo Land, I
hurts.
rode it once in the morning and it wasn't that bad. But I could
What?
see how no in the morning. So it wasn't running very fast, is what I'm saying. So like it wasn't that painful.
I am basing it off pacing, bro.
But I
Yeah.
could see the one thing I took away from it is I could see how that could get real bad later in the day.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just read it in general.
And I rode it in the outside seat
It's
as
just,
well.
I think it's just awful. It's just an awful design. Like it's just.
I was like, yeah, I'm not riding that again today because I will
There's
take
another
that. I will
coaster
take
at
that
Flamingo
one
Land.
I will take that
Worse.
one tolerable ride for the day and be happy with that.
But
Yeah.
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of being in like
A
them,
blender.
no, them toasting machines that are
Yeah.
Premier in
Toast rack. Yeah.
toaster rack going down one of them. What are you gonna
hotel
say? Mumbo
toaster.
Jumbo, Emma?
No, there's a coaster that I think is worse. I think Velocity is worse than Hero.
What? Really?
I can't
It's not that
stand
bad.
booster bike coasters. I done two. I done the one at Toverland.
I
and
love
I've done the one at
Velocity.
Flamingo
Velocity is
Land.
well fun.
What do
And
you like
I
about
find
it?
them so uncomfortable. It's unreal. They are not enjoyable in any sense.
What,
You
just
like
like the
climbing
position,
into
the
a-
position you're
The
sitting in,
seats
or
are
like
really hard.
the thing on
From a
like the
female
thing on your back that
perspective,
keeps you in, or
I ain't enjoying that seat. And it crushes. I mean, I don't even have a big chest. It crushes my chest. It's hard on my, and it's just
Yeah.
like I don't like it.
Right.
It
I was
pushes
gonna
me
say,
into the
I've
thing.
got, mate. Like I don't what. So it just crushes your rib like your
So
chest.
the way
stage.
obviously you're leaning forward, and then it like the more the ride goes round, I just feel forced into the the
Right.
front. And I ain't even got big boobs, man. I got boy tits.
Oh, no, I
It's
got
the
bigger
hurt.
boobs.
Exactly. And I
Pretty
just
sure I've
find
got
the
bigger
seat,
tits as
put
well.
some cushioning on the seat. It ain't fun. I don't like
Hmm.
it. The launch of Velocity is incredible. After that, no, get in the bin.
It's interesting, but I guess that's like probably going back to how you don't like how like uncomfortable and tamed and Conda was for you. Like it's just
Yeah, because
the way it's
literally
just I agree with you.
the three of us girls went on Velocity, and the first thing we all said exactly the same thing when we got off was like, "Ow, mid fanny." That's all we said. All three of us at the same time was like, "My fanny."
in unison.
And we were all like, "Was it bad
To
for you?"
music.
And I was like, "It's horrendous, man."
Joe
Come on.
Joe really likes him. The one at Toverland and the one that she never had that issue. Again, it comes back. It comes back to like Shockwave. You're just riding it wrong. I don't know what you're doing.
How
but you're
many
riding
ways
it
is it
wrong.
to sit on a bike?
This is multiple ways. It's multiple ways to sit on a
Sideways?
bike.
What do you want me to do? Like this?
No, well, Luke rides.
Do a handstand on it,
motorbikes.
duh.
He'll just give us like a demonstration on different ways you can sit on this motorcycle
just
seat.
Don't lean forward as much. You'd be fine.
Horrendous. I'd rather ride
Maybe
Hero
if
than
maybe
Velocity.
if you like push, do you like push down on your arms, or do you like just lean forward like that on it?
No, I'm not just like on it.
But I'm just wondering if it's hurting your chest, like what you're lying down, like you just go
Like I'm not like slobbing on it. Like I'm not all my weight on it. I just can't get behind the idea of them. I just don't like it.
It's interesting.
Mm.
What about disco
Interesting.
coasters? Are they as bad?
Disco coasters,
That's a shout.
no, they're not as bad, but it's
they're
not
still
got the
bad.
force on it that like
Yeah.
a launch coaster's got on it. So it's not.
I suppose. Just a weird support thing. It's just a weird restraint, isn't it? Like, I'm not looking forward to Tron with that, to be fair. But here's what it is. We have to ride it.
It'd
don't
be
we?
interesting to see
Can I-
how what you'd find on Hagrid's as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Oh, Hagrid's was nothing like them either.
Yeah.
Not really. It's not the same.
It doesn't force you into that motorbike.
You're
that
pretty much
motorbike
sat on it, aren't
position
you?
as much as
Do you know why,
something
Mikhail?
like Velocity.
Because it's
Velocity.
not a sports bike. It's an upright
Yeah. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
you're
not
That's what I'm
on
saying.
it
But
kind
like,
of
there's still
thing.
the handlebars there, but it doesn't force you into that position. It's basically a normal seat,
Yeah,
but
practically.
you can. Yeah. Can I say one that I have just said is the worst, like actual, like outside of all the kids coasters and fucking wacky worms and that shit, but like is the worst actual thrill coaster that I've ridden.
Ooh.
Thunderbolt at Coney Island.
Oh,
Throw that shit in the Hudson River. Zamperla are, evidently working to improve how those looping coasters, the vertical lift looping coasters ride, and like the trains that they'll run on them and stuff. And God damn it, they fucking yeah, please do. Because that shit, oh my god.
you're not the first person
So,
I've
like,
heard mention
it's-
this, right?
Oh, it's horrendous. It's
Ain't we
fucking
supposed to be getting
horrendous.
that? Is that the one we're supposed to be
Southport.
With improved trains, hopefully, for you guys' sake.
I hope so.
I think it's supposed to be getting improved trains on it, but those like that train with the 3 across seats and just the way the train tracked, like the way it navigated the elements and the transitions was, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. I rode it once, got for the cred, got off it and just said no, never again. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Fucking hell. It was so uncomfortable. The lap bar, the over the shoulder lap bar sat super weird on me. It flung me into the straps on it like more than one occasion. The whole train itself just ran clunky and just haphazardly on all of the elements. That it was just throw it entirely in the bin. Start again.
No, a few people are saying steeplechase. It's bad.
Yeah, it is. It's bad.
I get frightened to go on that with my kids.
It's a waste
when
of
I've got-
space in the park. Get rid of
when
it.
I've
I don't
got
think it's
Finley on it.
I don't think it's uncomfortable though. It's just a bit like trippy because you feel like you're not that high up, but you also feel really high up. 'Cause
It
it's so-
leans,
It feels really
but it
high.
doesn't lean.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's weird.
It's just the way it shoves you from side to side. When I
Yeah.
took Finley on it a few years ago for the first time, I literally held on to him for dear life because I was frightened that it would come off.
Like I get the fact that it's the only one left in the world, but that doesn't mean it's good. Like it doesn't mean we need it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's quite a big piece of
It's
land.
a huge space.
A huge
Massive.
space.
I've got all
You could
three
put something. You could
tracks
put
now,
something
get rid
really
of
good
it,
in
fine.
there.
Put a Voltron there. Yes, please.
It's
No,
never
that-
really got like even on busy days. Does that ever really have that much of it? I know it's technically three tracks, so I guess it gets through
Well,
through
the
it
queue
quite
line's
quickly.
only the bridge, really, isn't it?
But it's
So it
not
can-
like a massively busy ride. Like
No.
in
It
my
feels
opinion.
long because the onload and offload is quite a lengthy procedure in it. When you think 2 and 2,
It
it
is.
feels like longer, but it's not a long queue.
No, it's not. But it's just yes, okay, it's cool that it's an old ride. It's been there a long time, but just think logically about what Blackpool could put there. Like it's
B&M. drop.
B&M, Voltron, anything, just anything different. James, what's
B&M
yours?
Dive, perhaps.
Staying at Blackpool.
Segue. Yeah.
Infusion, yeah.
I've not been to Flamingo Land, so I can't say
Mm.
about any of them ones. But Infusion, that shit can just burn. football.
Infusion's definitely in my top 3.
I will happily
I
light the match to burn it down. Like,
I used to,
give
I-
me it.
I used to think Infusion was really bad, and I don't.
I
think
have
it's
ridden
good. I
it
don't-
once, and
yeah.
I will never ride it again.
I think I don't know. I've
refuse.
had
It's a bad
some
ride.
like I've had not bad. Like we had. Remember that one we had McCall on it at the start of the season last year. We come off and we were like, that was pretty good actually.
That's the only serviceable ride I've had on it.
In the whole time of going to Blackpool and
Yes.
Southport, that's the only
I-
good ride.
I
you've had.
enjoyed Grand National.
Traumatizer.
Infusion, I genuinely had a
James,
migraine
we
the
got
rest of the
really
day.
lucky that day when we did
Do
that.
you remember when I was
It good.
actually kind of annoyed at the fact that it was kind of good?
Yeah,
Do you
you were,
remember?
yeah. Because like you were the whole time you were like, this is gonna. Because basically the only reason we did it was because like I did a coin flip and I was like, what's that going to be our first ride of this year? It's going to be Infusion or Icon. And then we flipped the coin, and went Infusion, and then we did it. And I was like, that was actually pretty.
It was
good.
actually all right.
Probably because it was the first ride you've done in a while.
Yeah,
Like,
but also
the
like
feelings of a roller coaster.
it's. I don't think like. It's I've done. I don't know. I've done it sometimes when I've been like, "That's not as bad as I thought it was," but I think it's. I don't know. It could it's still taking up a lot of space. What it is, I don't think it needs.
It made my son cry. Infusion.
Did it?
Onto the brake run, and he was in tears, and he was like, "That was horrible." Just banging his head.
Contractually obliged to hate it after something like that.
Yeah, you are.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's stick in that park because a few people have said it. Nash, I like it. I've got to say,
I really enjoyed it when I rode it.
I love it.
It's a good layout. It just needs. I know.
What I'll say is now and again, I'll probably do like a wheel seat, and it will be pretty like I'll get slapped. Like you were saying with Antelope, I've had it where I've had that like slam down where I feel like I'm going to break my spine. But that's like them rides are few and far between. Like most of the time, I'll be doing it, and it will be like I'll have a good laugh on it, and I like it.
Yeah, I rarely now. I'll ride it 2-3 times every time I go to Pleasure Beach. And I'll inevitably get like a wheel seat sometimes. And I don't mind a wheel seat. It's like, it's disgustingly bonkers in the best way. And when you have got a group of people on it, it is the best fun that you can have at Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
This coming from the girl who can't stand the airtime on Conda, I don't get it. What do you mean?
I'm comfortable. The seats on Nash
I think it's the
are comfortable. The
restraints,
seats on Conda are comfortable.
The seats are
so it's a different kind of feeling of the airtime.
Right.
Yeah. So what's that saying? Nash has those weird moments can mutually enjoy the roughness. Yeah, it's kind of got like just a woody roughness to it, which is
it ain't bad.
Right. See, it was. It had it. Go on.
That's why I appreciate Nash more. I don't hate it because I'm expecting it to not be smooth.
Yeah.
Whereas Infusion, it's like it's a steel coaster. You should not be that rough and that bad. How is it possible that you're that rough?
I am not expecting any wooden coaster to be smooth. I am not expecting any wooden coaster to be smooth. I'm also not expecting any wooden coaster to try and cut my spine in half. Which is what has happened the last 3 or 4 times I've ridden Grand National.
I remember that time when we were sat at the the little area bit where we were sat down and you guys went ahead and rode it and you came off and you were like,
"Yep, yep." I had that reaction then. I had it when I rode it with a couple of friends of mine. Like soon after that, me and my friend Tom, we literally came off and said, "Yeah, that's quite tragic, isn't it?" And then after I think the year after, it might have been the start of last year, I rode it again after it had been posted up that it had been gotten the heavy retracking. Tried it again, had the same experience. I'm like, I do not need to keep. I do not need to keep trying this over and over again to try and convince myself that it is actually okay.
What James saying is, it's Nash. Nash is great. You get what you expect from it. It's like Weatherspoons, isn't it? It's not great.
It's not as good as Weatherspoons,
but you know what to expect from Weatherspoons. You know what I mean? You know it's going to be like a bit shit, but it's still.
I don't know. I like Weatherspoons.
No, mate, it's tragic. But you know it's going to be tragic, and it's the same everywhere. It's consistently bad, so you just do it. It's great. But no, I do actually know. In all honesty, I do. I've had better rides on Nash than I've had bad ones. In fact, I think I've actually had some worse rides on Dipper, even though I really like Dipper.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest one.
I've had some really fucking bad rides on Dipper.
Yeah, I've had some bad rides on Dipper throughout my whole life. To be fair.
But then again, and then I'll have some rides where I'm like, that was really fun, mainly if I'm right at the front.
Yeah,
then it's okay.
And you're throwing out your seat. Fucking hell. I remember riding with your Joe on the front row on Big Dipper, and literally we both looked at everyone and went, fuck, like we thought we were going to come out. It was.
Yeah.
I ended up with an arse
ridiculous.
chink on the middle divide when I rode with Carl a couple of years ago.
Oh
I
Jesus!
shit my pants.
Oh my god!
He actually grabbed me because I was like, "Fuck!" and he like grabbed me.
Front row is
Because
ridiculous.
I had
on
all that
ride.
room, like, and I was like, "Oh, that was bad."
To be fair as well, the big ones it's not what it used to be at all. I'm not ridden a new track piece, so I'm looking forward to that. But
I've only done one ride in it this year with the new track, and you can never tell a big one because sometimes you can do it and it'll be amazing, and then sometimes you do it and you'll be like, that was absolutely shocking, whether or not it's just really rough that day. But last year I was having really bad rides on it with that new track installed, and that seems to have like sorted itself out. Like you can't, like I was saying, how you can, where you could like feel that seam, almost like the transition.
Like
Like
into it.
But like this new tracking section I think has improved it loads. Even though you still slam down at the bottom of that drop. It's I don't know, it was good when we did it. It was very, very good. I enjoyed it. And I did it with people that like I basically had to get split up because I was the odd one. So I had to go like a few rows in front with like people who were like absolutely shit scared of it. And then I was just like winding them up as we was going up the hill. They were like, because they were like 50-year-old blokes,
right?
And they were all just like proper nervous, and they were all chatting to each other like, "Why'd you get me on here?" And he was like, "What's
Did
it?"
you like being out the train and be like, "Whoa."
Yeah, yeah. But he was like, "What if it stops
on the turnaround?"
He was like, "What if it stops?" And I was like, "It does that quite a lot, But I've paid to walk up this. But if you get stopped in this, when we was going up the hill, I was like, when you get stopped in this, you don't get like you just have to walk down with no brace on." And he was just like, "Don't tell me that." It was so funny.
That just reminds me. I've wanted to do it before, but going on a ride and just having a couple bolts.
Oh god.
Excuse me, just fell out your seat just as you dismount.
Okay.
Or just go to Guess Me Quick shop and buy one of the seat belts. Is it yours?
Is this yours?
You dropped this, bro.
Is this yours? Is crazy. No, I know a couple of past ride operators who have done the whole like just spare nuts and bolts thing, like
really
before launch coasters have done.
Oh my
god,
that is evil, man.
That's fucking evil, man.
I saw a video of this
so
ride
funny
up
though
on a launch coaster, like doing the whole
yeah.
bit countdown. It's just like, oh, odd. It's not meant to do that, and then it just launches as they think it's broken down.
The funniest, this wasn't like deliberate or anything, but when we was on when we was on Highlander, the drop tower in Hansa Park, obviously it's got a tilt in motion that tilts you, and when it dropped down, it didn't rise and back up, so they hit the bottom. And they were still tilted towards the concrete, just like that. And then the up come out the booth, literally like this.
Is it supposed to do that?
like literally just like smiling at him, being like,
"Not seen this
not
one
before."
before.
Meant to do that. And then we just had to like clear the queue out, and then had to wait for people to come out. But it's just the fact that they all just stood there, sat there like that, stare at the ground. But yeah. So
Sammy Fahrenheit fan 97 just reminded. Well, yeah, he asked which Linen Maki ride is worse, Uko, Keanu, or Tolireki. It just reminded me of one. Uko all day, all fucking day. Uko is disgraceful. For anyone that doesn't,
the 3D thingy.
No, it's the Maura Skyloop. The Mauro rides Skyloop. It's disgraceful.
Yeah,
oh god,
it is disgraceful. That's like
upside down
two,
left. Nice.
Yeah.
Uko and X Coaster at Magic Springs in Arkansas. They are the same. They're the same model, and they're both as egregious as each other. Like throw them both away. Like Skyloops are terrible, man.
Them two, that concept model and that manufacturer should you just know that's like not a match that should ever happen.
Ever.
Ever. You can even tell it's like not a good match to do.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Well, they
what?
use the chain to stop it and lower it back down. Wow.
And it fucking
Yeah, because
like,
that's what default.
it,
That's what
it gets up to a point
defaults
and then just
do that.
falls
Yeah.
on the chain, and it goes whoop, and then just goes straight on the chain, and just
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
horrible.
G-Force used to have to do because
Throw
it used to
away.
get stuck all the time because the lift hill would take you up and then like that. So then you'd just be stuck like that, and then it would take him ages to like bring you back down. Like
No,
that.
looking at this one, you go up, it
Mm.
drops, you go through the station back up onto the lift hill,
You're right.
and then you get
then it breaks.
caught on the lift hill to then be
Oh,
lowered back down.
yeah.
Yeah,
so you end the ride being
It's
loaded back
bad.
down.
Yes.
yeah,
What the fuck? That's so
because it
weird.
doesn't have brakes.
It's
Well,
shit.
not normal. That
It's
looks
shit.
What out? Let me look at my list.
Chris,
Viking coaster. Have we mentioned?
Oh
that one yet?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Throw that one away as well.
Not
That's
walking.
just disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely awful. No need to have over there.
Why the fuck does a spinning mouse have OTSR?
It's vile.
And also, Express platform.
Let's
Express platform 13, not because it's like rough or anything, it's just so boring. Like it
It's
just does
shit, isn't it?
nothing.
Yeah, so let's
Like-
take away the
Logical.
best part of Rock and Roller Coaster, the effects and stuff.
So
And put
you
it
basically,
outside.
you basically like just do the launch and then it just slows the hell down and you're just basically like it
was
just feels so
weird.
pointless. You're just going like
Yeah.
that.
The
Just
launch was
literally
good
going
though,
like-
so I was
The
excited.
launch
I
is
was like,
amazing.
"Oh."
Yeah.
But with the queue line and everything, you're like, this is
Yeah.
going to be exciting. And then it launches and then it just goes, no.
Yeah, it's just so
David.
slow. Yeah, if you didn't know, that is like it's just one of the clones, the same models as Rock and Roller Coaster and
Yeah.
whatever the thing in Avenger Campus is called now. What's it called again?
Flight conference.
Flight Force.
Right, cool.
Flight Conference. So he says Flight Conference. That's what it should be called. Flight Conference.
So mean.
Flight Con.
Flight con.
Well, that's mean to Icon.
I
I was just watching a two tatties pod.
It's just
then,
that
by the way.
outside.
That's why there's a
You
new
are?
one come out. A new two tatties pod came out.
Oh, what I wanted to say about Two Tatties as well, I forgot to run the clip, but we got like just a clip of the inside.
Oh yeah,
No.
yeah. Of the
Yeah,
the
the
light
dispatch
effects in the station.
look amazing.
It looks
does-
so good, and then it
yeah.
follows you down like
Yeah, I
down into
noticed
the
that on the
launch.
one that looked
Yeah, yep.
Mm.
on the
Sick.
rock work. It's got
It's
LED
so cool.
strips for it.
I'm a very big fan.
It needs to go nighttime, and people need to ride it so we can see what it does at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, Chris mentioned the boss at Six Flags St. Louis. Yeah, I don't think it was as bad as you thought it was, but I found it quite disappointing. I did find boss quite disappointing. I didn't really have much of a desire to go on it again. It was kind of just a one and done, and it's weird because I feel like that is a very polarizing ride in itself, because some people love it, some people really love it, just because of like the scale of it, how big it is, and like how fast it goes and stuff. I mean, Sammy said that the first half is fantastic, and yeah, it's had some like modifications to it, and like the second half is just it exists, doesn't really do much else. But yeah, I didn't really think much of it either.
I'm just gonna. Can we run this POV?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
for it. Two
It's a good
tatties
P-
pod.
It's a good POV, to be fair.
I was gonna save it until after we finished, but sure.
No, we
yeah.
can carry on. But I was like, I want to watch this now. So we'll, I might as well just run it. Okay, here we go. So you can see how it follows you down, like the lighting, the LEDs and stuff.
Let's have a look.
Is it playing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really laggy. So I'm watching a not laggy version.
Oh, dear. Yeah, so it's not laggy for me. So you need to tell me if it is being laggy and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's lagging a fair bit.
Yeah.
All right, we won't watch it
Oh
then.
yeah.
Oh, back row.
The back row one's a really cool view. Of it.
Horizons, though, isn't it?
Not this one. It's only the last one.
Oh.
Only the last one is Horizon locked. Is it still really laggy? Is it still really laggy?
It's just when it goes fast.
mate.
Yeah,
When
I'll
it
just
when
go
it goes
out
up the
and
spike, it is weird because when it slows down, it doesn't lag. It's strange.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Good
great
look-
view. Look
Good
at
look
that.
at the area.
That's gonna be so.
Wow.
That's gonna be a great view. To be fair,
Wow.
Oh,
Brown
wow.
avalanche. There it is.
brown avalanche. That's hilarious.
Yeah. There we go. Cool. What house then? I think that's. Look, I've got all mine.
I was gonna say. Obviously, we talked about like worst coasters. I'm gonna say worst dark rides that you've done because I mentioned Fast and Furious, and other people mentioned like Geisterrichter and the Madhouse at Phantasialand. Like, what are some of the worst?
I
dark
think-
rides
People
you've
at
done?
Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
No, I think mine would be the Madhouse at Fantasia.
Makes no sense.
I
No.
enjoyed Geisterrichter because of how old and shit it is. It's entertaining.
Yeah, for that. Yeah, same. To be
The
honest with
Madhouse.
you.
Yeah. I thought.
Confused the fuck out of me.
Yeah. That ghost train.
And the pre-show, when
that
you
goes-
thought it had ended, it carried on.
So
More lights needed lighting, bro. You don't understand the
it
power of
goes
Kung
on for
Fu.
so long.
It's,
It was like, oh, cool, that's the end. Nope.
and then it turns into a fucking love story.
Yeah, it does.
It was, yeah.
Oh, it's yeah.
But Impossible is pretty bad at Pleasure Beach, I have to say. Just a cage, sitting in a
Every
cage.
time I've tried to do Impossible, it's been closed. So I've
My
never-
memory of the Impossible rides that I've been on is just literally sat in a cage, and I don't know why. Is that what it is? I don't remember what it is anymore. But
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, it's funny because, like, speaking of Geisterrichter and Fengju Palace and like all of those dark rides, it's similar, I suppose, similar to shit coasters, but like dark rides that the impression that you get from them is that they're very obviously not trying to be high quality dark rides. I can get on board with just for the meme. Like,
yeah,
Geisterrichter is just funny. Like, it's shit, but it's funny.
It's
so I'm
funny, but I think
And
it's
then, like-
kind of creepy as well. Like
Very
because it's
creepy.
so-
Fire
because it's
exit
so-
scene.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
because it's so old, and I'm looking at all this stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? I was saying it last time I went on it with the people I was with. I was like, this feels like some kind of avant-garde dream. Like,
Yeah.
it actually feels like a dream. Or
Yeah.
it just feels like like these students I've put together like a play, and then
Yeah.
they come out and it's just
Oh,
mad.
yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
can
and you're
see
kind of
that.
like, it's very weird. It's just very strange, and I can't quite get my head around it. So it kind of creeps me out a little bit, even though it is shit.
But
Um,
no, I love
Yeah,
the fire
and
exit.
and
scene.
also, yeah, the fire
Glass.
exit jokes, and also, Geisterrichter is not the worst dark ride at Phantasialand. Hollywood Tour clears them both. Like, Hollywood
Oh, I never
Tour
got
is.
to
It's
do it.
close.
Didn't
Never
get
got to
there.
do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't do it.
Someone mentioned earlier in the chat when we were talking about it. There's been a running joke going on about Hollywood Tour being the best dark ride ever. It's
what the best
it-
dark ride ever?
the best dark ride ever. Yeah.
Which
So,
one?
Wait, what? The Hollywood Tour?
They're
Hollywood
saying
Tour.
Hollywood. Who said it was wait,
Um,
just
I
missed
saw
what
it
you said.
earlier on.
Yeah, a couple of people have been saying it in the chat.
it
Like,
John?
it's the best ride ever. I think John said it. I think
It looks
Gecko Gamer
funny.
said it
It
as
looks
well.
funny.
It is. It's funny because it's so it's so bad. It's one of those. It's so bad. It's funny, and I'm very happy they're getting rid of it. Honestly, because it's terrible. But the thing is, like with those kind of rides that aren't trying that, like, again, the impression that you get from it is just like, this is just a meme. Like, it's not even trying to be anything. It's just a meme. And this like this, the reason why I say Fast and Furious is the worst dark ride I've ever done is because it like, and I mean, it's been said by Universal higher ups, it's the biggest mistake that they've made in terms of ride additions for Universal Orlando. It's like you can see they actually meant for it to be something, and just largely because of the park it's in. Like it's not it like it's at such a touted park in Universal Studios Florida, and I've never seen like a world renowned park miss the mark on a dark ride more so than Fast and Furious Supercharged.
That's sad, isn't it? That is
It's
sad.
like, yeah,
It could be good. It's a big IP. It could be good.
Yeah.
There's lots of scenes you could use from it. You know, you could have it as a trackless. You know, it could be great. You could actually
say-
get into a fucking car. You know, in the trackless dark ride. sort of thing.
Sammy says it's funny too, just because it was such a massive blunder. Like they missed the mark so hilariously, and like it, like yeah, like you can tell it was trying to be. They were trying to have it be something, and they just completely missed.
I think the worst ride I've ever done in terms of dark ride has got to be that Ghost Train at Energylandia.
I never actually did it.
That was how do you like it?
I never
It's
did it.
literally just
I thought it
static
was
models of
working.
aliens. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
it was. I was expecting it to be tragic, but I quite enjoyed it.
I was like, that is. I've
I had
done
a great
better
time.
funfair fucking Ghost Trains than that. And then it tried to run me over. I got out of it, and then it just like another car just smashed up the back, and then it just like fell over onto the station.
We all
platform.
crashed into each other. Like,
Oh,
I
God.
can't even remember who was
Like,
first.
what a
but
shit
we all
design.
caught up to each other and had a long train.
Their braking system is just crash into the car in front of you. That's literally it. How fucking weird. But yeah, just going back to, we'll probably have to going to call it quits now because it's like fucking 10:30.
It's
But
late.
Going back to Fast and Furious, again, I think Kong's just as bad. It's got an cool animatronic at the end, but Kong is just trash, man.
I don't think much of Kong, but it's not as bad as Fast and Furious.
It's up there. It's
Like-
nearly there. It's just cinema screens.
It's all right.
It's just like that's all it is,
yeah.
and it's not a ride. It's just like the queue, the queue, and the
Queue's better than the
animatronic in
ride.
that queue
Queue's
is
better than the
so good, and it gets you like so hyped up, and you're like, this is gonna be a wild good ride. Like, why make it so spooky and stuff, and then you just go in there, and then it's just like,
Yeah.
but it just makes no sense. We're going in the side, we're going outside. Like, it doesn't look real. Like, it just looks like a screen. Like, I just don't understand what it's trying to do. And
I also don't think the animatronics that great.
Like,
Like,
I mean,
it's
just
good. It's good,
it's
but
big.
like,
That's what.
it is just a
good.
yeah.
It's just
like-
huge, but it's just like it's so like soulless, that ride is.
Like Fast and Furious is so much worse in my opinion.
Yeah,
But,
it is worse,
but-
but I'd say that is like I'd say they're on the same level for me personally. Like, I'd say Fast and Furious is probably a bit worse, but nah, I didn't like it.
Gangster Granny or Fast and Furious?
Gangster
Granny,
Granny. It's not even bad.
Gangster
It's not like it's not the best
not.
ride in the world.
I
but it's
enjoyed
like-
Gangster Granny. It's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I just wanted to give some Gangster Granny. Deserves it. It's a good ride.
Gangster Granny.
I will mention Gangster Granny.
Yeah, there we go. It's in.
Yeah.
By any means necessary. Sammy said like the problem with both of like Kong and Fast and Furious is that they did try to take the tech that was used on the Hollywood studio tour at Universal Studios Hollywood and turn those into rides. And like I've not been to Universal Studios Hollywood, so I haven't done the studio tour, but that does like of that Trommel Tunnel-esque, cinema screen. It does seem to work within the confines of a much larger, attraction, rather than being the staple, the main part of an attraction itself. And yeah, right.
Cool. Nice.
We good?
I'm just knackered now.
Yeah,
I just realised how late it is. All right, cool. So, are we allowed to announce what's happening this weekend, or is it not 100% yet? Shall we just announce it on your socials?
Yeah, I'd say let's keep it to socials.
So there may be an extra, episode this Sunday if anyone's about Sunday night. But stay tuned to Twitter, and we'll let you know. But it'll be if it does go ahead, it's going to be a special episode.
It'll be everywhere.
It's going to be a special episode.
It's going to be. It's not going to be for the faint-hearted. I'll tell you that much. It's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit mental. But yeah, no, thanks ever so much for joining us and sticking with us, even through that technical, technical mishaps that happened earlier. Not our fault, YouTube's fault.
Yeah, thank you for that. There's still 35 people watching.
I know, man.
Thank you.
It's crazy.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. Right. Anyone got
sleep.
anything they want to shout out? Anything they're working on? Anything they'll push out?
No, I'm all good.
All good.
All good.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
See you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Or
guys.
Sunday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.